So we encountered this error. So far it had worked really nicely, just entering values. And now I see here that the error says it's that it couldn't write it into a consolidated cell. So can we undo the changes or reset the changes we've made so far and then maybe try again from a different level or a different view?
Yeah, so let's hit OK. So we know now that we cannot enter a value directly on top of the consolidated. We need a little bit more help to make it more realistic so that we really can spread data across a huge data area. Let's delete this area here. So with the data we entered for now, you can use the Control-Delete key to be sure that you really send the command to the server, Control-Delete always, that the values are still being pulled by the formula, and you don't delete with delete the formula in Excel. You only send Control-Delete to the server so that the server cell will be deleted.
Okay, so wait, so Control-Delete?
Control-Delete, correct.
Yeah, to delete stuff, because if I just hit delete, it'll delete my formula and it'll mess up my
show
report.
You, in this case, I would delete the formula and it's empty. And if I send Control-Delete, the information will be sent to the server. So we have a clean cube slice now, and I would like to do the step you asked for in a more higher level view on our data. So we are still in 2019 Q1, but we are looking at our products and bikes on the level of all customers and all channels. Still our budget, still sales. So you see, we are really on a consolidated level, and I would like to do now a planning for month, but for the entire bikes, for all customers or channels in 2019, and I would like to enter 2 million as my final result. So I would like to budget here 2 million. We saw that I cannot enter the data directly, but if I tell the system with a specific command, so I hit the pound key or hashtag, number sign, correct, and I enter 2 million.
All those zeros.
Yeah, and hit enter, the system is now able to identify, based on this command as a prefix of the string I entered, of the value, that this is now being processed. The value is being processed differently. So now the system knows I don't want to have the value written on this cell. I would like to spread, or like we say, splashing. So the feature we have here is a so-called splash feature.
Okay. So when I hear splashing, I kind of imagine a drop of water hitting water, and then what you would expect is then smaller little drops splash somewhere.
Exactly.
Is it like that?
It's exactly like this. So if I expand bikes, you see the smaller drops are spreaded across or splashed across the mountain bikes, road bikes, and touring bikes. So depending on how many elements are there, and it's equal distribution, because currently no values are stored in this data area. So the system cares about 2 million to be spread across all reachable base elements, like your little drops, and then it calculates automatically on the fly while I'm entering and sending the data where to place all the specific pieces of 2 million, so that the roll up again is 2 million. So what you see is not a written value. You send actually the server the information I would like to see, a calculated 2 million. Please process the data so that everything below is adjusted, and I get this as a result.
Okay, this is a little tough for my brain to process, because I kind of expected to see something like however amount here, the same amount here, the same amount here. If you expand mountain bikes, would I be able to see that better? Okay, that's more of what I expected.
Correct.
Okay.
So the difference between mountain bikes and road bikes, the number is depending on how many elements are below, or child elements, each Consolidated has, right? So you see road
yeah, and it's all the
bikes
same.
is always the same because it's equally distributed. So the base elements, they get more or less the same value, but based on their yeah. So you see all the information is the same, and then we have a little bit more elements underneath mountain bikes, or less, and road bikes has more. So the roll up is different, but the base elements are all the same. Now we can do this also in a more quicker way. So instead of typing the 6 zeros to get to 2 million, we can also do 3M, for example, for 3 million. So we get the same. And you can do also the hashtag, let's say, 4 million. And so if you realize, oh, I forgot 1 million, so I would like to have 5 million here, you have two possibilities. Either you type in 5, everything will be overwritten.
With the hashtag in
With the
front of it.
hashtag, correct. Or you can use the double hashtag. That means whatever you type in now will be added to the already existing value.
Okay.
So currently, let's take a look. We have 4 million inside. Hashtag means add something. Let's take a 2 million on top.
Okay.
And then you realize, it's still not what I would like to have. I would like to have 5 million. So you can also do a hashtag minus 1 million. And there we are.
So you had the M for million. I would just assume that then you could also use a K for thousand.
Exactly. The K for 1,000.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And so first we had the number sign or hashtag to just evenly distribute so that the number we put in is the rolled up value. To add to whatever value,
Correct.
we use the double hashtag.
Exactly.
Is there anything else I can use to play with this? Like you had the subtraction, the minus sign in front of it?
Yeah, actually, you can also say something like double hashtag for adding something, but now you don't want to add a specific absolute value. You can say whatever is inside currently, 5 millions. From this 5 millions, I want to add a 10% raise. So I get my 5.5 million now. You can also go minus here. But this makes a little bit faster if you want to increase by percentage. And the next thing that is very interesting is you remember when we started, we had this equal distribution of the values. So every base element had the same value. The reason was the entire data area was empty. So everything was 0. And like I said, it was spread equally. Now we have, from Q1 point of view, we have January, February, and March with different values. So it's not equally distributed. So the 10.5 million are not equally distributed across 3 months. What happens if I increase now the 10.5 by, let's say, another 1 million? And you see immediately it's not distributing equally. So it takes exactly the ratio of the already existing value. I can make it even more. I can override the existing value by 20 million. And I have the same look and feel. So the distribution is always the same, because as soon as you have values stored in a specific data area and you do a splashing on this data area, the ratio of the already existing values are being taken to spread and splash the values.
Okay, so if everything is empty and I use the splashing, then it's even. Whereas if I already have values in place, then it's distributed proportionally, right?
Perfect. Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Great.
Let's make it here 11 so that we are in line with our training material.
Okay, great.